Foot traffic at the PITX is seen to have reached its peak today, 2 days before Christmas.
To accommodate the influx of passengers, the MMDA will be temporarily allowing provincial buses to pass through EDSA. Gerard de la Peña with the big story.
The Parañaque Integrated Terminal Exchange is jam-packed with passengers 2 days before Christmas. Most trips are already fully booked, particularly those bound for Bicol. Arnalyn didn't sleep last night to line up at the ticket counter so she can visit her family in Camarines Sur. She said she wasn't able to book a ticket online.
Nag-alanganin kasi kami dahil nung nakaraan maulan daw sa Camsur. Baka naman mahirapan kami kaya hindi na kami nagpa-book online. Opo. Kaya hindi namin alam kung kailan tutuloy ba kami yung hindi.
Meanwhile, passengers like Oliver are still unsure if they will make it to the trip.
Nung nandito na kami sa malapit, hinold kami kasi wala na raw bus. Fully book na daw hanggang 29. Tapos yun nga, set passenger na lang daw.
The PTEX management said passenger volume reached 151,000 on Thursday and is expected to go up further.
Ito kasi yung mga humahabol kasi nga, nagtrabaho pa sila the whole week, minaksimized pa nila yung kanilang earning capacity. And then ngayon lang sila nagkaroon ng pagkakataon na makabiyahe pa tungo sa kanilang mga probinsya.
Salvador said all passengers will be accommodated.
Ang guarantees namin basta nandito sila, makakasakay sila, no? Kasi marami namang readily available na units. It's just that kailangan lang tanuhin mabuti kung saan mo sa dadaling ruta.
Police personnel have been making rounds at the terminal to ensure safety. The LTO and the LTFRB, for their part, are ready to issue permits for additional buses if needed. Meanwhile, the MMDA will allow provincial buses along EDSA to cater to the influx of passengers. They can traverse the thoroughfare from December 24 until January 2 next year. For News 5, Gerard de la Peña, We Are One News.
Let's check in on the traffic situation along EDSA with Faith Del Mundo. Faith, how are things moving along there?
Yes, Sean, more and more vehicles are actually here in EDSA, and we are actually 2 days before Christmas. And as you can see here behind my back, here we are now here in EDSA Reliance here northbound, and more vehicles are here. There's actually moderate to heavy traffic. Bumper-to-bumper traffic in the major thoroughfare has been also a headache for motorists. Some cars even overheated, prompting the need for fire officials to come and help. In the southbound lane, moderate traffic can be expected from Muñoz, Magallanes to Cabrera, Pasay, and the same goes for Ortigas, White Plains to Aurora Boulevard, Trinoma to SM North, Cloverleaf to NLEX. Like in previous days, we were able to talk to some commuters who are having a hard time finding rides. MMDA Chairman Artes said heavy traffic can be expected until midnight. He said vehicle volume in EDSA could reach 420,000, exceeding pre-pandemic levels. Mall hours, meanwhile, are back to normal, while provincial buses have been temporarily allowed to ply EDSA. Sean, the MMDA actually tells the commuters and the motorists to pack patience and, of course, to also make sure that their cars are in good working condition. Sean?
Thank you so much for those updates. Faith Del Mundo reporting to us live from EDSA.
Now let's talk more about the holiday rush with MMDA spokesperson Melissa Carunungan live via Zoom. Ma'am, good evening. Welcome to the big story.
Good evening, Sir Robbie, Ma'am Sean, and to all those watching.
We expected more or less what EDSA and our highways would look like ngayon, the last Friday, 2 days before Christmas. But is this in fact the peak? What are we expecting both for drivers as well as commuters over the next 2 days?
Yes, sir. This is already the peak of the Christmas rush. Today, the monitoring of the metro base of the MMDA showed that decongested areas are the areas near the bus stations and bus terminals. So in preparation for this, the MMDA has deployed our traffic enforcers in those areas since December 19. We are full force today. There is a no-leave policy. Our chairman, Attorney Artes, also conducted an inspection of the terminals together with the officials of the Department of Transportation. However, sir, we expect that the traffic will become much lighter starting tomorrow.
But if you could expound a bit as well on allowing the provincial buses to have access all along EDSA, until when will that be in effect, and how will that affect the flow of traffic over the next 2 days?
Yes, sir. So provincial buses will be allowed to traverse EDSA starting tomorrow, December 24, up to January 2, 2023. Based from past years, we expect that the traffic along EDSA during this time is lighter. So the scheme is really aimed to accommodate the expected influx of passengers going home to their provinces and ensure their convenience and comfort.
Right. Alyssa, just to drive a little bit deeper into what Robbie was asking, when the buses traverse EDSA, is it just a pass-through thing, or will they be allowed to pick up passengers on the roadsides? Because even though sometimes we don't allow them to do that, they still will.
Yes, ma'am. So they will only be allowed to traverse EDSA on the condition that the provincial buses from North Luzon shall terminate their trips at the bus terminals in Cubao, Quezon City, while those provincial buses coming from South Luzon will have to terminate their trips in the bus terminals in Pasay City. So what we are trying to prevent, ma'am, is the crisscross of the buses along EDSA that will cause congestion.
Right. Well, a lot of people will also be just staying here within Metro Manila for the Christmas holidays. And in the, I would say, a month maybe leading up to Christmas, the big problem for commuters is catching a ride. Have you guys prepared for enough maybe modes of transportation or extra units to be deployed along major thoroughfares so that people can actually move about even if it's already a holiday tomorrow and of course on Sunday?
Yes, ma'am. So this falls under the jurisdiction of the Department of Transportation as well as the LTFRB. However, on the part of the MMDA, we are doing our part to help them as much as we can. We have a Viber group called Operation Biyahe Pasko 2022. In this group, we check for the number of PUVs in the areas, in the airports, in the terminals, and we keep the group updated. On the part of the MMDA, we help with the Oplan Isnabero of the LTFRB, and if there is any experience of commuters that they are rejected by taxi drivers or jeepney drivers, they can call the MMDA hotline at 136, and we will make a report and send it to the different government agencies po.
Okay, ma'am, one last question na lang po. Number coding through the holidays, what can people expect?
Yes, sir. So recently po, President Bongbong Marcos Jr. has announced that December 26 is a holiday, so coding will be suspended on that day, as well as Rizal Day, December 30, and January 2.
Okay, but between those two holidays, number coding will be in effect?
Yes, number coding is in effect on weekdays. However, on weekends, there is no number coding.
Okay, sige. Maraming salamat po. That was MMDA spokesperson Melissa Karunungan.